Shalom and greetings from Jerusalem Day, Jane. Today, all of Israel is mourning the murder of this brave young soldier. His name was Bar Falah. I hope I am pronouncing his name correctly. He was the deputy commander of the Nahal Reconnaissance Brigade. He was murdered this morning by Arab terrorists. Take a look at this. Only 30 years old. It's a very difficult day. It's a painful day here in Israel. I want to read something that he wrote to his fellow soldiers on Israel's Memorial Day, and I'm going to look down a little bit. On Memorial Day, we learned that there is something greater than life itself. There is something for which we are ready to sacrifice our life, the state of Israel. I will think about this during the siren, which I will stand with all the people of Israel in silence. I will remember all those heroes, but I will not bow my head. I will raise my head up with a sharp look at the flag, with a tense chest, with pride, because these are all my brothers, brave and bold, that in the moment of truth they put aside all their personal desires and give their lives for the holiness of God, the people, and the lands. That's quite remarkable. That's what he wrote on Memorial Day, and today he was murdered by two Palestinian terrorists. Two terrorists who are members of the Fatah organization, the Fatah organizations, who is actually the party of Abu Mazen, terrorists in a suit, but that's the party that Israel is supposed to negotiate peace with. This brave, strong, good-looking soldier loved Israel, always put Israel first, always put himself before his soldiers. As far as I can understand from Israeli media, only a few months ago he transferred into this unit. Civilian cameras showed that there was suspicious activity near the security fence, and they sent out soldiers to arrest these people, terrorists. They didn't think they were armed, and all of a sudden they got up and they started firing. So Bar was a hero. He actually managed to shoot at these terrorists, and both of the terrorists got killed, but unfortunately he gave the ultimate prize. He was killed. So this morning, there was a knock on the door with a family here in Israel saying, we regret to inform you that your son and your brother was killed this morning in the line of duty, being out protecting Israel. So I'm sending my deepest condolences, my sympathy to the family of this brave soldier, to his beautiful girlfriend who now have to bury her boyfriend. His father died 7 years ago, and his uncle kind of took over the role as his father. He's told the media today that when Bar came home, he never talked about the operations that he had conducted for the army, but he always said, when they told him to be careful, he always said, I will be home. Not anymore. So here in Israel, we are mourning the murder of a beloved son, while at the same time, people in the Palestinian-controlled authority cities are celebrating. Again, I saw the terrorist in Jenin was handing out sweets. I am following an Arab news site, and they are glorifying the murder of the occupation forces, which is absolutely horrendous. Earlier this year, we had a horrendous terror wave where 19 people was literally killed in less than 2 months. Since that time, the Israeli Defense Forces, special units, border police are out conducting anti-terror raids literally every night. They are out throughout most of Judea and Samaria, and they are arresting these terrorists. More than 240 major terror attacks has been thwarted this year. We are talking about shooting attacks. We are talking about kidnapping Israeli soldiers, Israeli civilians. We are talking about bombing, shootings. More than 240 has been prevented this year, which could have killed literally thousands of people. According to an Arab news site, because they are tracking the attacks on the Israelis, and they actually came out and said in the month of August alone in Judea and Samaria and in Jerusalem, there had been 832 acts of terror. 832. And in those attacks, 28 Israeli civilians had been injured, and there had been 73 shooting attacks towards Israeli civilians and also towards IDF soldiers. So when you come here to Israel and you're traveling around and you're doing your things and you're visiting all the sites and you feel safe, you can do that because brave men and women are leaving their families and they are going out and they are protecting the rest of us, and some of them are paying the ultimate price, like this young soldier Bar, who was murdered this morning by Palestinian terrorists. Two, according to media, they were cousins. They were members of Fatah, the security establishments. So these are actually Palestinian security forces who is out now attacking Israeli civilians and attacking Israeli soldiers. So you think for a second that they want a two-state solution, you are delusional. The leaders of the Palestinians are playing the game. They're speaking with two tongues when they're talking to English media, when they're talking to representative of the Biden administration, European countries, to United Nations. They are saying what they want to hear. Oh, we condemn violence. We are against terror. We condemn violence. We want a two-state solution. But when they're talking to their own people, they're speaking in Arabs, they are out saying that they are glorifying these despicable terrorists. Big, I could show you, I don't even want to show their disgusting faces. But of course, big posters have been made. They're calling them martyr. And that is Fatah, Abu Mazen's party, is out calling them martyrs, and it's reprehensible that Israel slaughtered our sons. So this happened every night that Israeli security forces, special operations, border police officers, they are out arresting all of these terrorists. And literally every night they are being attacked. Especially in the city around Jenin. I have spoken about this in so many videos. They are armed to the teeth. It's like going up against another country's army when the Israeli Defense Forces are out attacking terrorists or arresting terrorists. So again, to sum it up, all of Israel is mourning today. It's with a very heavy heart that I'm making this video, sharing that Israel lost a beloved son. He was only 30 years old and he was killed by two Palestinian Arab terrorists this morning when he was simply just out guarding the lives of me, being able to be here in safety, and all of you living here in Israel, including a tourist. So for such a time as this, please share out this video because you're not going to hear this in mainstream media. Can you imagine? More than 240 major terror attacks has been thwarted this year. We are talking about suicide bombs. We're talking about blowing up buses. We're talking about blowing up cafes and restaurants, particularly in Jerusalem. So I want to end this video by saying everything is going into ultimate high alert for the high holidays, beginning with Rosh Hashanah. 20,000 police officers is going to be on patrol throughout the country, especially in Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria. And of course, the security establishment was out saying, we are aware of at least 70 attacks that has been plotted during the high holidays to attack Israelis, to attack the Jewish people. So everything is very, very tense here, very, very tense. For such a time as this, please share out this video. Stand with Israel, pray for Israel, support Israel. And in one way you can do that is to come here, to book your plane ticket, to come here. There are no restrictions. come here, plant your feet, show love to the Jewish people, travel all over and say, we stand with you, we cry with you, we rejoice with you, we are crying with one of your sons is brutally murdered in a terror attack. And we for sure, especially if you are Christians, come here and be an encouragement. Come against the lies, the propaganda, the BDS, the indictment that is coming against Israel and the Jewish people on a regular basis when the whole world is going crazy. If a Jew is building a balcony in Judea and Samaria, but they couldn't care less with all of these terror attacks that keeps happening towards the Jewish people. So for such a time as this, I will continue to do my best. I'm standing here. I'm still in between housing. There's literally cupboards all over this room, and then I have a small bed. That's it, and I have never been more grateful. These people just took me in when I literally didn't have a place to live, and it has been so good to me to have fellowship and to pray together with them. But again, I'm still looking for my own home, so please pray for that. I'm standing here. I don't have all kinds of fancy equipment or program. I can edit anything. I'm standing here with a phone that has a broken screen, but God says, what you have in your hands, use it. And that's what I do, because you don't hear all of this in mainstream media. So may God bless you. May God bless Israel for such a time as this. And again, my deepest, deepest condolences to the family of the young soldier who was killed this morning. Bye.